It seems like every day, guys, we get something to talk about Helldivers, and that is due to the transparency from the CEO. Today, we're going to go over every single thing that he has mentioned till right now that gets us extremely excited for the future of Helldivers, because he's quoted saying this: "I'm really happy and proud of the Arrowhead team for an amazing achievement, the server handling all Helldiver players this weekend without a problem. Now we have time to focus on improvements to the title and resume our original plan. Many exciting things upcoming." And these exciting things is what we're actually going to be talking about today's video. Now, before we dive into all that new stuff, I do want to make sure we highlight the success that the game has had. So far right now, guys, they've been kind of steady with that 400 plus concurrent players on Steam. Now, if you add up the people who are playing on PlayStation, it's well above 600,000 people that are currently playing the game. Now, it doesn't stop there, because we recently got a tweet once again from the CEO giving us kind of like an idea of where it's hovering around. Because he posted this, he said, "We expected the Helldivers 2 service to hit the 800,000 concurrent user max capacity in 3 to 4 hours. There might be little light queues to get in the peak. Also, how crazy is the message from the studio of 100 depths?" So really cool stuff, guys. I am excited. Whenever a studio, especially the CEO, is this transparent, you know what happens? The community rallies around this team, because it feels like
we accept that one of us. You will never one of us. We accept that one of us.
Right? And that's why we're all here, guys, fighting for Super Earth and spreading a little bit of democracy, due to the fact that they are so transparent, as letting us know the success they're having, and with that success, we're coming along the ride. Now, with that being said, let's jump in and talk about all the new stuff, features, and really exciting things that we have looking forward to Helldivers. Now, one of the most important things whenever you're playing a live service game or a multiplayer game is that everybody wants to stand out and just be a little bit different. And the only way we're able to do that is by character customization. To a question that was actually asked by Philly, he says, "Any chance of seeing color customization for helmets, armor, capes in the future, just so armor and stuff matches?" Till what the CEO replied, he said, "Being discussed internally." Now, this is something that has us really excited, due to the fact that one of the biggest things whenever you're playing the game is you want to look right as you're fighting as well, because as you're spreading democracy, you wanted to spread it looking well. And this is going to be really cool, because what this is going to allow us to do is not only allow us to match our armor, like Philly said, but it's going to give us a little bit of a diversity when it comes to entering the field. Because right now, when you're loading in the screen, everybody looks the same. The only thing that changes is the aesthetics, but not so much the color customization. So this is something that I'm really excited for, and I feel like we are going to get this very, very soon. And I do want to know from you guys, out of all the stuff we're going to be talking about, let me know which is the one that stood out to you the most in the comments section down below. Now, speaking about customization, this was something that was also said. The following, he says, "Destiny 2 times Helldivers 2 Hunter fashion. Hope you like it." And he tagged the CEO, says, "Follow for more Destiny fashion." And he posted a video of a hunter having a black and yellow theme on his hunter. To what the CEO actually replied and said, "Super cool. I love these kind of crossovers that make sense to the world, right?" And he tagged at Bungie. So he actually tagged at Bungie. And this actually leads me to a very interesting question, because he addresses that crossovers are important, but the thing he really emphasizes here is that it has to make sense. Now, for your question, that for you guys, is what other crossover would fit in perfectly here? So I'm gonna name two off the top of my head. So I think Mass Effect would be one. And I also think another one that would be very well here is, if you guys played PlayStation, you guys are familiar with a game called Killzone. It is a very old game, but I think a nice little crossover for that game, because I did hear like a little bit of rumors that we're going to be getting a Killzone game. Just throwing it out there. I think that would be a very nice crossover. Now, I want to know from you guys, which other crossover do you think would fit perfectly with the, Helldivers vibe here? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, if you made it this far to this video, I know you guys love spreading democracy, so hit that like button, fellas, and don't forget to sub for more Helldivers content. So another thing that I feel like would improve the game a lot is this question asked by Friggsy, and he says, "Any chance of making stratagem loadouts?" I think this would be very good, due to the fact that even though there is theoretically a optimal build that everybody's running, there's still those times whenever you want to change it up and just try new things, I think loadouts would be awesome. To what he replied, it says, it's something that the UI team has concepts for. Don't know when it might happen though. In other words, they have thought about loadouts and planning on implementing one. They're just trying to work out the UI. Now, this ties in perfectly with the next couple of questions, because currently right now, there's only like 2 main loadouts that people are currently running. And, you know, it just depends on the mission. So there's like a really OP one that everybody runs. And then there's the loadout that, you know, kind of is like a default loadout, which I'll have videos for you guys. I actually have a really good video coming up, which is for all of you guys who are stuck, not level 50, not level 10, but like in between, where you guys are trying to level up. I have a video for guys. So what I feel loadouts would work perfectly, especially with this particular comment here. So Eagle actually tweeted out, says, you should see this one. It says you could play as a stealth in Helldivers too. And he shows a clip of him running around, you know, playing stealthy and, you know, kind of just hitting the bots from behind, not taking any damage and just being super duper stealthy. To what he replied, he says, I know I used to rock subsonic ammo and suppressors and do this quite a bit during playtests. So that means we are getting an introduction of super high quality stealth play. We're getting subsonic ammo, which is going to pretty much reduce the the noise from the bullets, because the noise does trigger the bots, does trigger the bugs to come and fight you and kill you and shoot you down. And the introduction to a suppressor. So that means there might be some weapon attachments we could apply to a specific weapon, or a weapon that already comes that we already have that has a suppressor attached to it to keep a stealth play. So we also know that there are some stratagems that are going to be more beneficial to stealth play as well coming along. It seems like stealth is going to be a very predominant thing within the game to, I guess, alleviate some of the pressure of the solo players who plan on playing solo, plus also giving you the ability to play the game a little bit different. So this ties in perfectly with the loadouts, because you can have a super aggressive loadout, you can have a stealth loadout, and we're going to talk about another loadout that's possibly going to be part of the game. Now, we got to be honest, guys. One of the things that is not really well in the game is the melee. All right, so, you know, you're fighting bugs, you're fighting robots, and all you got to do is a punch. Now, this is actually pretty interesting, because this is actually one of the questions that got addressed. They asked, can we get swords? Laser swords. Melee needs more zest. So he replied and he said, haha, I love swords. Drive me closer. I want to hit them with my sword. Felix, art director, and Mickey, I think I said that right. If I did, my bad, got into an argument about how sensible this is. We'll see what the result is. And he has his popcorn. So that means they're currently right now discussing introducing melee weapons. And this actually has me thinking, because swords are very interesting concept. I mean, laser swords are also very interesting. But how about introducing like a hammer? How about introducing a bat? Like, what type of melee objects do you think would fit perfectly on here that would actually go very well? And I feel like this is going to be very interesting, because just like we talked about having a stealth loadout, how about having a melee loadout where we kind of do a mission melee only? And this would only enhance the stealth value as well, because if you could actually melee someone from behind and not do noise, but actually kill the enemy with a blunt weapon, a melee weapon, as opposed to hitting and, you know, just punching them, I think it would be a very interesting concept. I think the sword introductions would be really cool. Laser swords sound like really, really dope, very Star Wars up there, but I feel like this would make the game a little bit more fun, more dynamic, and it would give us another thing to kind of look forward to as far as builds are concerned and aesthetics. You know, like a really cool looking sword that we could actually grind for and try to obtain, I think would be awesome. But I want to know from you guys, what do you think of the introduction of melees? Like, what other weapon can we actually bring in here? Now, talking about that, guys, I want to recommend a video you guys definitely need to check out, and that is 9 items you need to unlock like right now to be able to play the game without a problem. It makes solo team play super duper easy. So check that video that's popping up right now on the screen. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.